A 22-year-old man is Quebec's newest multimillionaire. Gregory Mathieu won Lotto Quebec's big jackpot, $70 million. He's sharing it with 7 members of his family. Kelly, he says he almost missed buying that ticket in the first place.
And that's because Mitsumi, he had to actually run out to do some last-minute errands on the night he bought the ticket. He had to buy some milk for his mother and decided to buy a lottery ticket at the same time, just 20 minutes before the deadline. Now, that, of course, was the winning ticket that won him $70 million and an extra $20. He actually precise. He made that very clear. And this is the same grocery store that the 22-year-old works at as a grocery bagger now. He says he's probably not going back to work, not just because that he doesn't need to work anymore, but also because he thinks he'd be recognized there. So today, 8 members of the family were presented with the $70 million check, and they're a family from Lévis, which is just south of Quebec City. And Mathieu's mother said she grew up in a mobile home, with many family members, sharing a bedroom with 2 of her sisters. So she says she never could have imagined winning the max prize. They've been playing the lottery their entire life, but now always expected to win smaller amounts, if anything. So this is quite a huge shock for them. Now, this family has, as I mentioned, been playing the lottery their entire life, and that was inspired by their grandmother, who is actually very well into this story, because this day that they won the lottery was actually the anniversary of her passing. So they say this must be a message sent from her. They're very faithful that this is something that was meant to be. Now, Mathieu, as I mentioned, is 22 years old, and he says he's financially sound for the rest of his life, and he shared the moments just after winning with the media today.
When there was nobody at the register, I told the cashier, "Can you check the ticket?" And she checked it, and I couldn't believe my eyes, and I still can't believe it. And I went to sit down because I couldn't talk or think, and I called my mother, and then I called my brother, and then they came and joined me at IGA, and we went straight to my grandparents to take a breath.
He says he's still in shock at this point that he actually won. As for what he'll do with the winnings, well, he says he needs a new car, that his has been dying on him, and that car is actually still under a pile of snow at the grocery store where he works. And as for everything else, well, he says that he wants to travel, he hopes to make some investments someday. And also, Mitsumi, that bag of milk I mentioned at the beginning, well, that's still in his mother's fridge. So he did complete his task that night. He just brought home $70 million extra.
Good for him. Thank you very much, Kelly. That's Kelly Gregg in Quebec City.